What is 1861?
Right.
Putting the brand back together for 4?
After a bankruptcy and months of mourning, these immortal snacks returned to store shelves in July 2013. 4 grams lighter. Joey.
What are Twinkies?
Correct.
Give us the short version, 400.
A Peloton webpage asks, should you do this, like on the bike or treadmill, or weights first? Jay.
What is cardio?
That's it.
Beasley TV for 400.
On this show, Charlotte York had a King Charles Spaniel named Elizabeth Taylor. Jay.
What is sex and...
Good afternoon, meteorologist Trey Tonneson here in the Weather Center at KKTV, coming to you because we do have ongoing severe weather here in the area, but more specifically heading in for a serious situation in areas in and around Manitou Springs. A flash flood warning now in place. I want to read to you some of the information put out here. Manitou Springs, according to the National Weather Service, and Pueblo, of course, they've issued a flash flood warning for west central El Paso County, including Manitou Springs. It's in effect from 2:19 p.m. when it was issued until at least 5:30 p.m. this evening, Wednesday, July 16th. As of July 16th at 2:19 p.m., Doppler radar indicated those severe thunderstorms, which were producing the heavy rainfall in the warned area, had already dropped 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. But more importantly, the hazards that they're noting here are flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban flooding in streets, highways, and underpasses, and mudslides in steep terrain, including rock, mud, vegetation, and debris. And due to rapidly rising water levels in Fountain Creek, the following city facilities are evacuated and closed until further notice: Manitou Springs Pool and Fitness Center, Manitou Springs City Hall, parking and mobility offices at 400 Manitou Avenue. And important to note, all individuals in flood-prone areas are urged to seek higher ground immediately and avoid walking or driving through floodwaters. Turn around, don't drown. And city wants to note updates will be provided here at KKTV and via city official channels. And to receive emergency alerts, sign up for peak alerts that they have El Paso, teller911.org. We'll come back to you with the latest.
A great school year starts with a great night's sleep. At American Furniture Warehouse, we have the best deals on beds, dressers, and top brand mattresses to help you sleep better and wake up ready to take on the day. Come visit any one of our beautiful showrooms or shop online at afw.com.
My car was struck by a big truck. I had compression fractured my L1 vertebrae. I called Frank Azar that day. I was surprised that it only took 11 months for him to resolve my case, and I got $425,000.
We've handled thousands of trucking cases. Call me now.
This candy bar hasn't been sold in decades. I mean, this thing is what?
The Jurassic.
Yeah, there's nothing going on here other than okay, all right. Bye.
Brakes. Yeah. So as long as we're not hitting a local brake.
I don't want to be the one to make that choice. I just want someone to tell me yes or no.
4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Adam Atchison in the 11 Alert Studios near Woodman and I-25, and we are cutting into programming this afternoon as a flash flood warning is in effect for the Manitou Springs area, and that has prompted evacuations. I know programming was going, but we have a kind of an urgent warning here from the city of Manitou Springs that we want to pass along, and then we're going to get over to the 11 Alert weather team to make sure that you're updated on the latest because of the storms, severe storms that have passed through the Manitou area. The city of Manitou Springs, within the last 20 minutes or so, announced that because of rising water levels in Fountain Creek through the city of Manitou, there are several facilities that have been evacuated and closed until further notice. This is the information that you need to know. Several buildings evacuated, and that is in effect from right around earlier this afternoon to 5:30 this evening, which I just spoke with both Sydney and Trey, and they're telling me that that's because that's right around the time that the flash flood warning expires. The Manitou Springs Pool and Fitness Center is being evacuated and closed until further notice. So is Manitou Springs City Hall and parking and mobility offices at 400 Manitou Avenue. Can we go to our live picture? Let's take a live picture. This is along Manitou Avenue. Our crew got there about an hour ago, and there was water over the road, some muddy water that we saw. Now, for anybody that's familiar with the area, Fountain Creek passes through that area, and so because of the high water levels that have come off hills, mountains a little bit further upstream, that had passed over Manitou Avenue, but it looks to me at this time that the roads are just wet, and traffic, although it had been backed up in the last few minutes, is moving along just fine through that area. Let's get over to meteorologist Trey Tonneson, and he can update us a little bit more on what this flash flood warning looks like. Trey, they got some serious rain in this area, and this is an area that is susceptible to flooding anytime we get heavy rain over a concentrated amount of time.
That's correct, Adam. And this area was in the first severe thunderstorm warning right here in southern Colorado in the Pikes Peak region, and now under a flash flood warning, as you mentioned, for good reason. That outlined in the bright green box on your screen, bright green polygon. Now, this is for those portions of El Paso County, and that flash flood warning in place until 5:30 p.m. But what's notable here is that this is an area that was passed over by the first warned severe thunderstorm of the afternoon. It dropped between 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall, and we do have severe thunderstorm capabilities through the rest of the evening here in southern Colorado. We are now under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock p.m. And as we zoom out and take a look at some rainfall that could potentially come down the line, this is what it looks like currently in southern Colorado here on your screen. Notice that that area is not free of rainfall at the moment, and more showers continue to build up in higher elevations and come down into lower elevations across southern Colorado. So this is just one of the first areas that's seen the heavy rainfall that will persist and continue across the area throughout the evening. And quickly, this is what the severe thunderstorm outlook looks like through the rest of the evening here in southern Colorado. Of course, yellow and green, level 1 and 2 risk for severe weather. Adam, this is not the last severe thunderstorm likely that we'll see through the evening. Not the only thunderstorm or severe thunderstorm that'll pack heavy rainfall.
Now, it looked to me like when we took that live picture from the Manitou Avenue area that it was not raining as heavily at this time. I know you've kind of looked at radar and seen where things are heading. The warning remains in effect till 5:30. So What are they facing in the next couple of hours? What they're facing in the next couple of hours is thunderstorms that continue to trek across southern Colorado that build up in higher elevations and move towards the east. Whether they're severe warned or not, most thunderstorms tonight will pack a decent amount of rainfall until the heavier thunderstorms move off towards the east, and that's at the end of the evening. Come on over here.
Yeah, I wanted to see, because this is the box that we're focused on right here, and this is the reason why some of these facilities that have been evacuated are right along this area. This is Highway 24, but Manitou Avenue stretches right through that, right in the middle of that box.
Right. Yeah, and as you noted earlier, you've got the Manitou Springs Pool and Fitness Center, the Manitou Springs City Hall, and you mentioned the Manitou Avenue parking and mobility offices there have also been closed. And right in the middle of that box there, and that was just the first severe thunderstorm we have. Most likely that there will be more coming through the area this evening.
All right, another live picture here that gives you an idea of what Manitou is facing right now. And Trey, right now we actually what looks to be a peak of sun there to the west.
Correct, yeah. That's really not sometimes what you want to see right before a severe event or after you've seen a severe thunderstorm that moves through and then out of the area, because what that does is it gives the atmosphere a little bit of a chance to regenerate, Adam, and that could lead to a little bit more instability there. What that means for you back at home in those areas, specifically the areas that we're referring to in this flash flood warning, is that it could provide a little bit more of a chance than would have been there without the cloud cover for severe thunderstorms to reform and drop more rainfall. So not really a good thing, but as long as it's not over the roadway as of now, that's a good thing.
Well, we certainly don't want to see things get worse, so we'll be monitoring that. I know the 11 alert weather team will as well. So a couple of things to note here. I know a lot of folks are used to seeing Jeopardy during this time. We're cutting into programming because we do have that flash flood warning in effect, and more importantly, we have a warning from the city of Manitou Springs. There are 3 facilities along Manitou Avenue. If you're just joining us, I'm going to repeat them so that you know that have been evacuated. They are the Manitou Springs Pool and Fitness Center, Manitou Springs City Hall, and the parking and mobility offices at 400 Manitou Avenue. The more important warning here, though, for the greater community that is susceptible to that flash flood warning right now is that they're saying anybody who's in flood-prone areas in the Manitou Springs area are urged to get to higher ground right away. They also say avoid walking or driving through floodwaters. That Manitou Avenue shot that we had, let's go back to that. Traffic's moving along just fine along Manitou Avenue, but earlier in the afternoon, I want to see if maybe, I know our producer's in the booth, is there a chance we can get that picture up of the water that was covering Manitou Avenue? We can get back to that in a second, but let's leave this live picture up. This area, traffic moving along fine, but there was a time when water was covering the road. And the city is saying, and authorities typically do say in situations like this, don't drive through that because you don't know not only how strong the water is, but how high it is. Sometimes it can be difficult to see the depth depending on the area, whether it's flat or maybe there's a dip in the area. So, Trey, I know the 11 alert weather team was telling us that we could face some roadway flooding or even flooding in low-lying areas. Does that risk continue here in the next 3-4 hours, even though the flash flood warning is going to expire at 5:30?
So with Adam, what we're looking for over the next few hours to kind of gauge the threat in terms of what you just asked is whether the rainfall continues in that area more in the next few minutes or more into the next hour to 2 hours. Depending on how long it takes for the rainfall to return to the area, that will help us gauge the threat. But as of now, what we're looking at in terms of the rainfall returning to the particular areas in that flash flood warning now, it does appear that showers and thunderstorms just to the south and east, which are moving to the north and east, which will bring more rainfall to the area, are on their way. But as of now, the good news is that none of those showers and thunderstorms, say in areas like Cripple Creek, Canyon City, and Penrose, none of those are severe warning. But once again, it's important to note that the National Weather Service doesn't issue severe thunderstorm warnings strictly for rainfall rates. They're issued for winds and hail. So that doesn't mean that some of those storms down there couldn't be packing some heavy rainfall like you've already seen, which has prompted the flash flood warning. So to answer your question, Adam, directly, we could definitely see more rainfall in the area past the expiration of that flash flood warning. And if that's the case with the rain that's already fallen, and you said that that area is flood prone in general, that could provoke yet another warning a little bit quicker and easier because of the rainfall that's already there.
This is a live look at Highway 24, which shows you what's happening maybe just a little further to the west or northwest of Manitou Springs. Road's wet. Traffic's moving along fine there. There may be areas where the water has crossed the road, but at this point, it appears to just be wet. I want to check with our director really quick. There should be a graphic here that we can bring up that has a list of those facilities that have been evacuated. I'm being told that we have access to that. So if we can bring that up as we're working through, here it is. This tells you a little bit more about what you need to know. It's addresses and buildings that I mentioned here a few moments ago. The buildings that are being evacuated and closed for the rest of the day, the Pool and Fitness Center, City Hall, parking and mobility offices at 400 Manitou Avenue. If you have business there, or maybe we're planning to visit any of those places, just know they're going to be closed. And then they're asking people, anybody in flood-prone areas, get to higher ground right away, avoid walking or driving through floodwater. Okay, at this point, we are are going to be monitoring this very closely, not only in our newsroom, but in the 11 Alert Weather Center throughout the next few minutes. We're back on the air live at 4 o'clock. But of course, if any additional warnings come down or any other information that you need to know, you're going to hear it right here first. We'll send push alerts through the 11 Alert Weather app and the 11 Alert News app. And if you don't have those right now, you can go to anywhere you get your apps and we'll send out those important notifications up to the second that they come into our newsroom and our weather center. For now, this has been an 11 Alert. We will see you back here live at 4 o'clock. It's an important day here on 11 News, St. Jude Dream Home giveaway happening, and we hope to welcome you back at 4 o'clock, if not before. We'll see you then.